What's up, guys? So, recently, someone who I know went through a frustrating experience with someone that they were dating. So, in this case, I am talking about a girl who was involved with a guy, and they had their experience, and pretty much the catalyst for the split was that the girl in the relationship felt like the guy was really like possessive, manipulative, just overall really overprotective. So that prompted me to want to be, of course, on her side and be like, you know what? If I had a guy who is constantly trying to keep me from doing things because he claims that he's trying to keep me safe, and if I had a guy who is constantly trying to challenge my way of thinking because he thinks that his way of thinking is superior, because usually whomever I'm personally dating is usually older than me. So I would expect that they have some degree of extra wisdom that I have yet to like experience for myself. And I said, you know what? You're right. I'm glad that you left that guy because you deserve better. You don't deserve to feel stressed. You don't deserve to be manipulated and just feeling like someone is breathing down your neck. But I asked myself the following question. I'm like, what does it mean for a guy to be protective? Because when I think about it, I like that as a trait in guys, but at the same time, how can I detect when a guy is being toxic about it versus genuinely concerned, but doesn't really know how to apply it in a way that doesn't feel like I am being deprived of experiencing life to the fullest? Does that make sense? Because I always want to feel like if there's a guy involved in my life who's constantly challenging me and making me just feel like I cannot do things on my own because reasons, concerns, I really wouldn't know how to distinguish between a person with good intentions versus someone who's just jealous about me being out or something. And how I can figure out if a guy is just trying to be controlling or if there's genuinely a, you know how guys have like a protective nature? It's like, how can I figure that out? How do I know that this guy is just not getting in my way, but is truly trying to protect me, except that on some circumstances, he's really reaching, and I'm like, hey, dude, you need to calm down and not do that. I realized that if I don't know how to explain it and if I don't know how to detect that, then that means that I may commit an injustice against a guy who has no bad intentions with me whatsoever. But because I feel like my personal space and decision making is being invaded and interfered with, I realized that maybe I should ask this question and figure this out before I commit the same mistake as the person who I have met. Which, in their case, I don't want to say it's a mistake because they feel much happier being away from this person. But I'm just saying that if I encountered a person in my life who wants to be there for me and take care of me and whatnot, I wouldn't like to react in a negative way when this person genuinely has good intentions. You guys see what I mean now? So I realized that I'm not sure how to handle that. And maybe in the past, someone who has had the same complaint about their personal relationships, and I decided to side with them, saying, you're right. This guy's just being manipulative and possessive and controlling, etc., etc. Now it's like, what if this guy was truly nice? He had good intentions, but his way of showing it is really aggressive, really overprotective. So, what is a healthy male protective instinct and what is a negative, toxic, manipulative, controlling one? That is the question. So while I embark on a quest at investigating that and finding out questions and questions that people have asked and then the answers, I thought that I would go ahead and present that here, present my question, and then I will do my own little research, see what I find out, and then come back to you guys about it later. Because I think it's interesting. I never thought about this before. I always thought about it taking for granted whatever it is that the person who was unhappy said. Like, usually I hear the story of the girl talking about the guy and how they had a bad experience with him. And I'm like, oh, yeah, the girl is probably right. But now that I want to be honest and open and look at both sides of the story, I cannot help but ask myself that now. And I'm not trying to say that I'm going to try to save these people's relationship because if it ended, then it needed to end. But I'm just saying, if it happened to me, I would like to know how to do it right. See what I mean? So I will leave that here and you guys can give me feedback and then I'll let you know what it is that I learned, what I used to think, and if I have changed my opinion at all or if I'm just crazy and I should just not think about it too much or just basically I'm clueless about it now, so I'm just trying to become better at it. So I'll let you guys know what it is that I find out. All right, guys, I'll come back at some point with this one. So I thought that I would just put it out there because I'm